But I mean, like I said, we probably played one of our worst games of the year and still only lost to the number one ranked side on their own home patch by 3 points. So we'll take that. I think we have to take that. It wasn't nice. It's never nice to lose, but in terms of losing by 3 points is better than losing by 20 points.
Yeah,
I guess.
No, absolutely. I think it was a while back now, but I definitely wanted to get your thoughts. I read an article with Jacques Nienaber. I think he spoke about it yesterday, and he said that to do what they're doing, and I can trust that these guys are doing stuff behind the scenes as well with the bigger picture in mind. But he's like, if you understand the positives that we managed to get, even though we're only losing by 3, he puts it into a bit of perspective. But the bigger picture in mind, then yeah, it's not too upsetting. It's just, it always comes down to the fact, like, it's a pity they look down a little bit on like each international match, and they don't treat. I suppose that's being very harsh.
Yeah, look, I mean, we need to. I think we always tend to forget that when we go overseas, I mean, these guys live at the moment. You live to play against the world champions. You want to prove a point against the world champions. That's what you do.
Yeah.
It's against the world champions and the number one ranked side. Because the All Blacks was number one for so long, that was always the yardstick, like that or the world champions. Now, with these guys actually being number one and whatnot, you go there and you're like, okay, this is going to get spicy because they also have a point to prove.
Yeah.
And I think, look, I know we don't want to touch on these things, but old Rassie touched on it himself. So there were 1 or 2 decisions that you could think like, okay, that's a bit dicey, but again, I don't want to take a loss down to the officiating, as I don't think that's right. You need to learn how to win with officiating going against you sometimes as well.
Yeah, on that note, I just checked what I had written down for that match, and it said those 2 forward passes. I think were they in the same move, or was that?
It was in the same move. It's very frustrating in that sense. That, I mean, it didn't get picked up. But again, ask New Zealand what happens in a World Cup quarterfinal with a forward pass. You just there. You don't get another chance though. So I mean, I don't want to use that as an excuse. Still, even if that happens somewhere along the line, it'll happen to you as well. So you take it on the chin. Yeah, could have been handled better, I think, but I can't blame a decision for a loss. That doesn't feel right. And I think had we kicked our goals and things like that, different story.
Yeah, need for a kicker. That's also something that I had after that week.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. That was one of my main points. And then come the next week, they proved us wrong.
For fun, yeah.
Yeah, the absolute contrast between 2 weeks. But yeah, I think in terms of Ireland, I think the one man we need to chat about was old Pieter-Steph du Toit, because we were giving him a lot of flack. I think he actually had a quite decent game against Ireland.
So did Jesse. Yeah.
And Jesse was good. So I think in terms of that, I think it looked a bit better. But there wasn't really anyone that stood out in our team, to be honest. Now that I think about it, and even thinking back, there wasn't really anyone that completely put up their hand and said, we're going to win you guys today. Maybe Kwaha coming off the bench. Yes, he brings so much energy off the bench, eh?
Yeah. if the coaches can say to him, look, just use your explosive energy for the next 20, 30 minutes and just be.
Just brings it, old Quaster. Yeah, what a machine.
Because sevens is high intensity rugby.
Yeah,
And he brings that high intensity for the durations of a sevens game.
correct. And now he just does it on a 20-minute scale, and he absolutely belts it out. But also, he's been playing 15s now for quite a few years, so
Yeah,
I don't think the sevens thing, yeah, probably gave him a base. But I mean, he's developed into a proper 15-man rugby player.
absolutely.
But yeah,
Absolutely.
I think in terms of Ireland, that's pretty much I think what I wanted to cover in that game. I don't really want to talk about it too much because it still hurts a little bit.
Yeah. You saw
But
that
also,
video of when I went to the pub and I watched with those Irish people.
it looked very nice. It looked like a lot of fun.
Such a vibe, eh?
No, it definitely looked like a good vibe and good times.
Yeah.
That's what you want, eh? That's what you want.
Yeah, we're going
But
back to the same pub this weekend and they're hopefully putting on a bra and we're going to watch SA versus England there.
that's going to be spicy. That's going
Yeah.
to be very, very spicy. All
Oh,
right, I think let's kick into gear for the next one.
yeah.
Because we actually have quite a few things to go through. So the one match that we earmarked the whole year pretty much. And to be honest, I didn't watch the game live. I felt so bad about it. But it was my sister's wedding, so I actually did not feel too bad. I watched a bit on DSTV now on the phone every now and then. But I knew that I would spoil it for myself, so I'd rather watch it the next day. But there were a few moments in that game where you thought we down and buried and we come back roaring back, and then
Yeah.
absolute seesaw of a game that was. Absolute seesaw.
Yeah. No, so I thought it was very interesting. Marika made the comment that as soon as the Springboks are trying to like play to overcome adversity in some way, they can find another gear.
They 100% do that.
It's something we can just pull from within ourselves. And I think, look, Peter Steff, that's a read by the book every day of the week. But I mean, there's nothing him as an individual. It was clear there's nothing him as an individual could have done about that.
I mean, you could see how distraught he was when he went off. You could see the Oak felt so bad. You could see there was no malicious intent
Because
in it.
if you
It
look at
was,
it, at least from what my opinion is, if you're going towards a guy like that, you want to protect your face as you go there. So you tuck your face in a little bit. And I mean, in the split second there, what's he supposed to do? I don't think Peter Steff meant it one
no,
iota, but he
look,
got pushed.
that's that was unfortunately, as Lemony Snickets would put it, a series of unfortunate events that
Yeah,
just occurred in the time frame of a few seconds, where he was going in to secure the ball, then goes pretty much down, gets pushed a bit, goes straight. He didn't know what was going on, and he just absolutely smashed Dante in the face.
yeah.
That was a big collision, though. I mean, that was, as far as hard hits goes on a rugby pitch, that's one that's going to sting for both Oaks.
I think um what's it? That guy broke some bones, his eye socket and his cheek.
Well, he was definitely concussed. That much I can tell you. Um, Look, I mean, it's unfortunate for France as well. I mean, that's one of their big name players. I mean, that old with Jonathan Dante or whatever it is, he's been having a great season. So that was also a big blow for them. But yeah, I mean, us playing with the red from the 12th minute, was it?
Yeah,
The way the guys just, I mean, especially after they scored as well, you would have thought that we were in big trouble. I really thought we were in big trouble. But the way we just came back,
Whoa.
I mean, that is a massive collision. That's an absolutely massive collision. Oh, that you can just see how much that must have hurt. No, that's an eye socket, eh?
Yeah.
That's not fun. Because you can
It's
see there he starts going down, there gets pushed. He didn't even look where he was going, so well. But I mean, yeah, letter of the law, that's you're not unfortunately nowadays going to get away with anything in the
He
face.
is always in trouble.
As soon as your face clatters in someone else's face, you're in trouble. Which you can clearly see he was pushed there. Yes, but that's a massive collision though. Oh, yeah. Rugby isn't for the faint-hearted, eh? Definitely
Not
not
at
for the
all.
faint-hearted.
Not at all.
But I mean, it's like we said there. After that, the way the team just galvanized, that was good to see.
And
That's
I
what you
think
want to see.
how much credit must we give to Sia Kolisi? He's as a leader, I think he's grown in stature so much, and I think they're playing into each other. He's playing better rugby because he's being a better captain.
Oh, definitely. I think, look, with the brains trust he's got around him. I mean, Dwayne isn't here in this tour and things. You still got Eben there, but I mean, he's pretty much taken over that role now completely.
Yeah.
You can see he's now pretty much the leader of the pack. And we've said it before as well. He's having a phenomenal season.
Yeah.
And
2022 has got his name right at the top in terms of players.
and I mean, for me, that's all we want to see. That's all we want to see. Just give it your all and galvanize the team. That's all that we want. And there was no better example than this France game.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of teams, if you go down to 14 against the French, you haven't lost a game this year.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of Oaks would have buckled and just absolutely got smashed. But
Yeah.
there was a long period of that game there at the end that I thought we could actually sneak this through.
That would have been unreal.
That would have been something to behold. But I mean, even his try in that game, that was, I've never seen anything like that in my life, that absolutely not one of the defenders knew he had the ball. The ref didn't know he had the ball. I don't even think his teammates knew he had the ball. Just breaking off that.
I saw a
rolling
little
ball, just
video about it. Do you think that was a training ground move that they were able to take to the game, or do you think that was just Sia having a gut feel?
I would like to think it was a training ground move, but I mean, I actually don't know. I'll be they're the only guys that'll know if there was a training ground move or not.
Yeah.
But oh, what a charm it worked. I mean,
Yeah.
that image of him just running straight through, diving, and everyone's like, oh, there he is. How did that happen? I mean, it took me a while as well. I was watching, I was like, he just scored a try. Where did he come from?
Yeah.
That was baffling. But it was look, if it's something that they practiced, well done. Kudos. That's some innovation there. But yeah, it was definitely something else to behold.
Yeah. Acres of space. That's what we want to see. But you knowing our training staff, and this isn't just blowing smoke up their arse, they have been pulling out things like this, like the micro analytics they go into. They've not been shy to identify the smallest of cracks, and who knows? I'd say this is easy 50-50 on a call.
Yeah, no, look, I mean, the thing is, because we got our rolling maul was so negated by Ireland, I think this might be something new that they tried and it worked a charm. It's very possible. It's very, very possible.
Yeah, the bounce back on that rolling maul between Ireland and France was, I mean, yeah, we just pulled it together, and we were able to Would you say adapt, or do you think we just pulled our finger out our arse against us France?
I think we adapted. And I also think we probably, I don't want to say we rested on our laurels against Ireland, but something just didn't feel right there. But against France, it felt like they just had that little bit of extra oomph again, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it was a good performance. I mean, if you lose and you lose like that, I have no issue with that. I think we really showed a lot of character, and I mean, even old Gert Lee's try was also a goodie to watch. And the difference between the goal kicking between Ireland and versus France.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone was slotting them from everywhere.
Yeah.
Where against Ireland, we couldn't kick it over from in front of the post. I mean, what? That's the thing about kicking. Sometimes it baffles me. The one week that you can blow so cold, and the next week just sinking them from all over the show. But I mean, that game showed us the value of kicking your goals.
Yeah, I think with our game plan, we've got to have a recognized goal kicker on the field that's going to, like I said, give you this 3 out of 4s, 4 out of 5s.
Yeah, no, definitely. No, you have to. I mean, against France, we didn't miss one, and that's the level of consistency you need.
Yeah.
Against the top teams, that's pretty much, if you miss one, it could decide the game.
Yeah. No, you're spot on there.
I mean, France had a good game. Let's be honest; they played well.
I think both Ireland and France played well.
Yeah, and then France also got a red card. Then what was it, the 50th minute with Dupont? I mean, that's also a letter of the law. That's a straight red every day of the week.
Yeah.
Vicious
fall by Colby.
Yeah. Oh no, that looked. I mean, I don't want to put my body in that position. That much I can tell you for free. But it was a big collision. But you could see. I mean, that's the unfortunate thing, is old Dupont had his eye on the ball the whole time. But nowadays, if you don't jump in as well for the contest and you make contact, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
It's you have to go into the air nowadays. You can't not. It's the only way to pretty much save yourself from a red. Because if that oak's coming with momentum, he's jumping into the air and he clatches into you, you're still going to get the red. If he lands on his head/neck area, you're the guy that's in trouble. Just get into the air. Just get into the air.
And he landed badly on his.
No, I mean, that was a properly big collision. But it wasn't. It's never fun to see that happening, because I mean, if you land incorrectly there, you're in big trouble, though. I mean, that could be your season done. That could be your career done. So that's always the risk going into the air like that. But John, let's have a little look-see. I mean, every time you see it, it just it's painstaking to watch. I think you can take it back a little bit further, then you can see it clearly there. Oof. Yeah, it's not lucky to see. But I mean, that's rugby, eh? That's rugby in a nutshell. Get smashed. Get absolutely smashed sometimes.
It's a pity. What's it? Do you think the physical aspect of the game is just being completely destroyed? They're going after it so hard. Obviously, we want these players to, like this. Obviously, this is a red card and very dangerous. But I mean, remember that once we commented, and we said that like any touch of the head now is going to be a card or a penalty. But then
just ask Faf, bro. Just ask Faf what happens when you just touch someone's his moustache? Were you in trouble?
Yeah.
So just stay away from the face. Look, it's going to take a long time, I think, for rugby to be able to negate head contact completely. I don't think you're going to be able to do that. There will always be situations where there's going to be contact to the head. It is a contact sport, unfortunately. I mean, you go into the game, you know the risks you're running every time you get onto a field.
Yeah.
I understand the safety aspects that they're trying to do. Do I think that it is going overboard sometimes? Yes, I do. But um, it's like any other sport. The guys will adapt eventually. You'll see Oak starting to hit lower. The thing where I've just got an issue with that is at the rucks.
Yeah.
Because that's very, I mean, where if Oak is bridging over the ruck like this, where are you supposed to? I don't know how are you supposed to? How do you clean an Oak then? Because if
Speaking
you
of,
stand like this over the ruck, or what are you supposed? The only thing you can do is grab the Oak around the waist and then I don't know, karate him out of there or something, judo him, I don't know. But I mean, otherwise, how are you going to clean an Oak? That's the one area where we need to get some more clarity. It's like Peter Steve's red card. I mean, yes, he was trying to clean. Yes, he fell, boom, head on head. But at the end of the day, if you look at it, where else are you going to? How are we going to change the rucking or whatever to be able to negate any head contact there? I don't know. I do
yeah.
not know.
Um,
But it is definitely taking away from some of the physicality. But in saying that, you still see massive hits flying in.
yeah.
Um, and I think what it'll do eventually is guys will start tackling lower and lower,
Yeah.
which will then you'll see more double hits having to come in because if you're tackling low and the player's hands are open, we've seen it so many times, you get those little offloads going. So I think we're going to see a lot more double hits going in where one guy goes for the lower area and the other guy literally just goes in for the ball. Doesn't go for the head, doesn't go for proper contact, just goes for the ball to ensure that there isn't any little offloads happening.
Is this a theory of yours?
Well, you might call it that, yes.
Interesting.
But I think that's the way that teams will have to, well, not have to, but I think that's the way to go. You pretty much negating. You're still going to be able to put some big hits in, but you're trying to negate any above the head or what above the shoulder contact by
Yeah.
going in. Like I said, the big thing is you're trying to stop the offload because
Yeah.
we've seen nowadays it doesn't matter what position you play, you all probability going to be able to put someone away with a little offload. So
Yeah.
that's one thing. It's not like the olden days where you could just hit the oak a bit high because now also as soon as you start slipping up in the tackle, it's still a penalty.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying get one guy to stop them low and the other guy just to come in and make sure that there isn't any little offloads happening and even trying to just steal the ball. I think that's the way to go. But if that is what guys will adopt in the future, can only wait and see. But I think that's the way to go forward. Yes, you're committing two guys on one guy, but that's also going to mean that the opposition will now have to commit another guy to a ruck in all probability because the tackle assist is
Yeah.
going to be able to go for the ball quicker. It's been happening a lot in the last while though, but I really think that's one way to start and give away less penalties with high hits and things like that. But I mean,
Well,
that's something to look.
you've made the call, and we've got it here. 23 November 2022.
Gotta check some other
As
angles sometimes and just make
as
sure that you check them
yeah,
anyway.
as soon as we see it being mentioned in a studio, we'll be like, guys, please check. Yeah,
Yeah, well, definitely.
revert
Um,
back.
but I mean, yeah, the France game, I enjoyed it. Well, didn't enjoy it live, like I said, but it is always disappointing to lose. If especially when a team is on a roll like France was, and I think we had the opportunity to take them. One contentious decision that I know we probably have to talk about is the try that they scored there at the end.
Yes.
But
You're in my mind.
I'm going to be honest. I have watched that clip a few times. It is so touch and go. It is for me, literally, it's a 50-50 call, and the ref is always, and the TMO, with that noise in the crowd, you're always going to go with the home side, I think, there. Look, there was communication breakdown. I don't know what happened between the TMO and the ref there. But for me, it feels like his knee did not completely hit the ground. I'll be very honest. For
Can
me,
you
it
see my
feels,
screen? Can you see my screen nicely?
yeah, it's full screen. It's full screen.
Okay, watch this. Watch this at slow speed.
That's fast speed.
Watch this, yeah. Okay, watch his knee. Would you say this is a knee drop? From
But
yeah,
this
it
is what
looks
I'm
like it
saying.
is.
This is so close. It is so close.
Okay, watch
That's
his
not,
knee.
no,
Watch
that's
his
his
knee.
head. That's his head and his shoulders and his arms touching the ground. That is not a tackle yet.
No, wait.
That's
So
not.
I would. So does this count as momentum stopping? No.
How do you mean momentum stopping?
Is this is this the end of the first movement?
No, because his knees hasn't hit the ground, so it's not a tackle yet.
Okay. Watch.
Still not
Boom.
hit the ground. There. That is, it's so close. It is so close
No,
for
but
that.
don't his knees hit the ground?
That's the thing that I'm saying. It is so close. It is so difficult to be 100% sure that his knees hit the ground.
So
So I
this is
mean,
where
because if it does, it is
there.
there.
Oh,
That little touch. It is so close. It is so close. But I mean, slow down even more. There we go.
thorough analytics. Because to me it looks like it touches, and then even if it touches, if they've got TMO, which they supposedly didn't. There.
Oh,
Oh,
okay, it does touch the ground very slightly. Okay.
because as
But
a
then
player,
yes,
he went in there, and you can say like as he felt the touch,
now is where
he
he propels himself again. Yes. Okay. Look, it is so touch and go though. It is so touch and go that I can see why it's given, but I would also
they've got the ability to zoom that in. I reckon if the TMO was around,
look, I mean, oh, that's a difficult. It's such a difficult one to make the call on. Again, I don't want to use that as an excuse for why we lost. I don't want to use that as an excuse, but
I think
it
it's just
is.
interesting. But yeah,
It's
that's
so.
true. I agree.
Look, I watched some proper analytics from Old Sways the Brain on that as well. I always
Yeah,
like to watch Old Sways. Um, look, what he said, which is true, is why is Jesse Creel there?
yeah,
Why? And he analyzed why Jesse Creel was there. So they took us out on the points, and our forwards were all pulling into the blind side there.
yeah.
And that's where when Jesse made the shift, and he was our pillar defender. If that was Stephen Kitsoff, Malcolm Marks, anyone else, they're stopping that guy and he's going down on his knees a lot earlier. But with it
Yeah,
being Jesse, yes, he isn't the smallest center in the world, but that's still a prop. You want a prop or someone in your front row or in your second row to hit that guy and get him down, kill the momentum. With
yeah.
Jesse, it gave him that split second where he could just launch himself a bit more. But I mean, that is so touch and go. It is so touch and go. But in
But
saying that,
also on that, so sorry, Gert, I know I pointed at the knee. So you reckon that's all still one movement if he doesn't touch the ground?
if his knee doesn't touch the ground, it's one movement.
So he picks up, Is that not the end of the first movement, irrespective?
What?
To me, it almost looks like 3.
I don't know. It literally it feels for me that he hits JC. Look, like I said, just because his arms and things touch the ground, that's not a tackle. If you take it technically, that's not a tackle. A tackle is complete when the tackle player's knees hit the ground. Okay.
But we're not saying tackle, we're calling it a movement because he's going for a try.
Yes, but the only
Maybe I
way you
didn't
can
understand
the
the
only way you
definition.
can do a double movement is if you've been tackled.
But I'm saying
So
if
if your
movement
knees have hit the
stops,
ground,
so that's a movement. So if movement stops, the movement will stop. That's how I understand it. Then he makes another movement that will
yeah, but
stop.
it's
Then he
that's
makes
like when Damien De Allende does his leg drives. Like he hits contact and thing, and it stops, and then he starts pumping those legs. There it's the same because if his knees did not hit the ground, it's the same effect. You can still keep on bulldozing until your knees hit the ground, and then you need to stop, but then you can place the ball. And we saw that with I can't remember whose try it was. Oh, Bongi's try versus Italy.
Yeah.
This past weekend, where you could see, okay, he's clearly tackled, he stopped, he still had the ball here, but you are allowed to place it there, and he just did that. Try 100%, everything right to the letter of the law. Like I said, that is a bit of a gray area there, but if his knees touches the ground, you're supposed to stop, can't propel yourself again. But like I said, there's a few blades of grass in that call. One question that I do have though is, was France on a penalty advantage there?
I'm not sure.
Because that is a big factor that I'm also not sure of. If they were on a penalty advantage, then different story. Because then they would have in all probability just done the same until they got it sorted, if they could. But if they were not on a penalty advantage, then that would have been our ball, because then he would have been held up, or whatever you want to call it, or double movement, or then would have been our ball with the new rules in the in goal area nowadays. But I mean, the only way that wasn't a try is if it was a double movement. It wasn't held up or anything like that. So
I think stick that knee drop under a lens. See if it touched the grass. If it didn't, go for it. I mean, this is the first time I'm discussing it in any detail. I've seen the clip once or twice.
look, like I said, I had my opinion about it, and then I looked at the analysis, and my opinion might have changed slightly. Because the first time I saw that, I'm like, that's a double movement. His knees hit the ground. That's end of the story.
I'm the same.
But it's so close. But I mean, again, we have to take that one on the chin, I guess. But I mean,
I think
we can talk about it for just a few seconds. Is the pressure that Wayne Barnes was under that last 10 minutes, that partisan French crowd was
Parisian, not partisan, Parisian.
Yeah, but no, but they didn't play in Paris. They played in Marseille.
Is it different?
I don't know. I don't know. But partisan crowd is also, it's a saying, is it not?
Yeah, I don't know. You're teaching me something, yeah.
So I mean, they were loud, they were raucous, and they were the 16th man. And that's why, if you're playing at home, make some noise, guys. Make some noise. Definitely the ref is also feeling the pressure there.
It was hostile. It was hostile towards the end. It was not hostile in a bad way, but I'm just saying it was like the tension was there. You could feel it.
It was definitely, look, I mean,
it was palpable.
I think if you were at that stadium, you were having an absolute joy.
Yeah.
That vibe must have been unreal.
Yeah,
it must have been unreal. It must have been deafening in there. But look, I mean, Wayne Barnes did buckle slightly, I think, in those last 10 minutes. Look, was it in that game where they called the Villiers-Leroux forward pass there, the AR?
Yeah.
that was a bit, yeah, I was a bit close, let's say. But
Did you see Wayne give the cameraman a bit of a handoff?
I see he wasn't too keen for the cameraman there in the last 10 minutes. He's just like, get out of my. It was a little bit. No, you could see the man was shaky. I mean, it was what it was his 101st test cap or something as a ref. Most experienced referee of all time now, overtaking Nigel Owens.
Really? Shit.
But yeah, look, I think some of the heat might have got to him there. But again, that's when it doesn't matter. We've all been through it. You've played games where you don't feel this ref is doing the right thing or whatever. Suck it up, buttercup, and do what you have to do to win the game. Don't make anything 50-50. Then you must make it 100-0. Just don't give them any reason to award anything. But it was, I think it lived up to all of the hype, in all honesty.
Agreed.
I think everyone thought after that 12-minute red card, the game was over and it was going to be a snore fest. Wow. Did it not turn out to be that at all?
Yeah.
Absolutely magical.
And on the game still, I think, and then spilling over into Italy, because I think he was outrageous against Italy. It's nice to see some good performances, some solid performances from Billy LaRue, and him being able to really highlight his ability, because I've grown more fond of him as I see him play.
Actually making tackles, not getting stepped by back rowers. If he does that, that's fine. Look, he is phenomenal on attack. We've said it before. His passing is crispy as it gets.
Good.
I mean, jeez,
he's got such an eye for just he's got such vision. He's got like that Ozil ability and that De Bruyne ability. He can see something going on.
Look, I think he is combined very well with Kurt Lee. Let's quickly throw that name out there. Kurt Lee Aronson has to be find of the season for us at wing. Has to be.
He's thrown his name in the mix.
He's definitely showing us that he's got something special there. He's definitely got some little magic dust that he can throw onto a game there.
He's going to be a good foil to have with Cheslin, because it's nice to have a Napi, a Nippy, a Nippy, let's go, a Nippy player in the back line. Someone who can just give you that go forward.
No, it definitely helps. Look, you can't take anything away from Mapimpi. He's still a try-scoring machine. I just feel this competition for him is going to be good for him as well.
Yeah.
A little bit of competition is never a bad thing, let's be honest. It's always a good thing. Keeps the guys on their toes. And they'll all come out stronger from it. But I just felt that I had to say that he is having quite the outstanding Autumn Nations series.
Yeah. No, I agree. I just remember, I just worked out now. I was trying to say snappy.
Snappy. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah.
But he is snappy. Maybe it's the combination.
That's when you nippy and snappy. Okay. Nice.
See him.
Creating new words here. Trademark that.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
That's what Cheslin is. Cheslin and Kirtley are nappy.
100%. 100%. Yeah, I mean, the French game, belter, didn't disappoint really. Then last weekend's game, oh, hello. That was something new. That was something we haven't done in a while.
Yeah.
I mean,
agree. It was.
The first half.
To see us run out.
Yeah, the first half was a bit up and down, but I also mentioned to you earlier, I think Italy really played well in the first half. They try that Capuzzo that plays fullback, that Lati that looks like he's 12, Oh, what a rugby player, though.
Yeah.
Jeez, like, what a rugby player. That try that he scored was sensational, to say the least. And yeah, look, we chewed some hard bricks there, but we got the job done at the end pretty well. What was it, 63-21 or
21.
something? I mean, that's a big score. And Italy were very high on confidence after beating Samoa and Australia. So I think we went out and we proved a point, and we did something that we haven't done in a long time, and that's just absolutely running the hell out of the ball and
Yeah.
just making it something spectacular to behold. I mean, scoring the try so early on. I mean, just look at the silky hands again, Billy LaRue, Gert Lee.
And that finish, eh?
It's brilliant. Okay, that was a bit.
Leaving it out wide.
I mean,
Two
you can see
Nike
this.
players.
See, he's got the vision. He knows what to do. Oh, this was that penalty. Oh. Look, Italy, don't write these oaks off. I think they're building something for the future here. They're eventually going to become. I hope for their sake, really, we need Italy to become a powerhouse. I mean, look at this though. Oh,
Sulky. What's it?
oh.
There were guys at work saying that there's talk of Italy exiting the Six Nations.
No, they can't do that. They need to keep. Eventually, they're going to. Eventually, I think they will get there. This team, if these guys can gel together and do some blood, sweat, and tears together, eventually it'll get there. Was that a high tackle? No, man, surely not. Surely not.
All
well,
three
let's
of them
see.
in front of the kicker there.
Jizzy. Ooh.
I like this guy's kicking style.
Oh, very sulky, eh? Very sulky. Oh, good. Ooh, smashed.
Spear was
Good.
everywhere.
The old Fafster.
Yeah.
He's looked okay. Eh? He's still not where we want him to be, but I think he's getting back to where he needs to be. Look, I really thought Esterhuizen had a sensational game.
Check at Willie. Look at Willie. He did that quite a few times. I think I saw him do it 3 times in this game. Oh, and again on the left, just working them back.
I'm telling you, this guy. Look, he can play fullback as well. We've got a lot of little. This was the Bongi try. So, ooh, ooh, knee hit the ground there, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, but there he can still place it. He hasn't placed it yet, so
Italy with a variation.
I think we did well here to keep them at bay, eh? Oh, that was close to being. Why was that no pen actually?
Our defense, our defense isn't shabby.
No, look, our defense has always been pretty much our strong point, but it's been a bit dicey over the last few games. But it's getting back there. I think
Puff's definitely got his crispness back.
Yeah, no, he has. I agree. He definitely has. Yeah, a lot of bugs here tonight. Jeez, like feel it's summer now. Old Biffle. Oh, look, I really think Italy played well this first half. I really don't think the score flattered them in any way. I just think they played well. I don't think we played badly. I know there were quite a few people saying we were playing badly, but I mean, if you look at the stats
Look
there,
at those stats.
no, man, that's not playing badly. That's just taking the brunt of it. I mean, it's that softening out process.
Yeah,
We all know.
that we
We all
know.
know
We all
against
know and
these
love.
teams, eventually they're going to hit you for the first 40, and then eventually the wheels are going to come off.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. At the
How's
end of
that
the
hit
day,
from
that's what happened.
France?
And I mean, from here onwards, it was absolute carnage.
It was an onslaught.
Look, I wonder,
Oh,
Chasey, I mean, look, I'd rather him not score the
easy.
try and his hammy not tear or whatever, because that looks like it could be some time on the sideline for him.
Again.
Oh, but I mean, Moni Lebok, let's just chat about
Marnie
this.
coming on, yes.
Coming on, look at that. Just hitting it where he needs to. Oh, that is. And from the touchline through the middle, why not? Why not?
Berkeley
Now, look,
again.
I'm very glad he got a run. We talked about it before the Autumn Nations. We said we
Oh,
want to
big
see
hit
him.
from
Oh, see
Sia.
a big hit. We wanted to see him have a run, and he has. And I think he's dazzled in this game. I really think since he came on, he absolutely razzle dazzled the whole time. Yes, there were a lot of pigeons, eh?
Yeah,
A lot
you
of
can see them
pigeons.
there. So I watched this other guy. It's called Forever Sports.
Yeah.
And I watched the live stream of him, and he put it a good way. He said Moni Labok's going to leave this Autumn Nation series, and we all crying over him not getting any game time. But for the bigger picture, he's going to leave this Autumn Nation series probably having played 60, 70 minutes of international rugby, and that's all. That's all going to add to our fly half depth. It's just
No,
about giving them
100%.
against 2 or
100%.
3 nations at
No,
work,
definitely.
and,
Look,
and that's
it's
worst
big.
case.
Yeah. Look, okay, that was a bit of a shocker, but I mean, it's what we wanted to see. We wanted to see him get thrown into a bit of the deep end to see what he can do. And I mean, he okay, yard was Italy, but I mean, still have to perform. This was a very good try by them, by the way, as well, eh?
Yeah.
That was really a good counter-attacking try that they scored there.
Interesting type of stadium.
Very much so. But I mean, yeah, the last few tries we scored were absolute heat. That last try,
Oh, get off the bus.
old Kitsy just showing us he's still
Dropping
hungry.
the
He's only scored
shoulder.
2 international tries, and both of them have been against Italy, eh? A little factoid.
Interesting.
Yeah, I told you I didn't do any research about any of this, but still have a little factoids. How's Willie LaRue writing off someone with his hip? Where in
I
your
did
life have
that.
you seen that?
I did that to a guy at
Oh,
university.
look at this. How
Look
good
at
was
those
that?
hands. I
How
bumped a
good was
guy at
that?
university using my hip, and he did his shoulder.
And the pigeons saw. But I mean, this last try was poetry in motion. It's probably the best try we've scored this year, I think.
The big shot.
Yeah, it might be. Look, the Mapimpi no try with doing what he did. That would have been the one for the year. But I mean, why do they not show the pass though? That pass from Marnie to Willie to Kurt Lee, and then Reinach just finishing it off. Sure. Absolutely sensational. 63-21.
So following this, what do you think, having seen what you've seen this Autumn Nation series so far, what do you think our prospects are like for the World Cup next year?
I've I've been checking a lot of people saying doom and gloom things about us, and I feel very confident still. I'm very
Yeah,
happy with what I've seen. If we're
yeah,
taking into account, we don't have some of the experienced heads there. We don't have our number one fly half there.
yeah.
We don't. We
We
don't
haven't been
potentially.
playing Fluff.
We haven't been doing that. We haven't potentially shown everything that we can do. Let's be honest. We're probably holding one or two things back. I think against Italy, though, we could see there is a blueprint developing. There is something in the works, I think. You can see, I think we tested it out against Italy. Let's say it that way. You're not the most structured defense, not the best defense in the world, but if you look at it, the passes sticked and they were crispy, and the running lines were sensational.
Yeah, I
And if
agree.
and I think you can see the guys are building, and that's why I'm glad Marnie also got the run, because you can see he can distribute from fly half. He can interlink with Villy LaRue. Villy LaRue can interlink with anyone. Um, and then we've got the support runners to do the business. So I think
As
it was interesting to watch and to see we not only going to use the forwards. We can, if we have to, we can unlock defenses with our backline. I think it showed, and this is without. Oh yeah, we don't even have on this tour. Probably our best player of the year. Also,
no,
don't have him there.
absolutely. He's
So,
spot on there.
so I mean, I'm very very excited still for next year. I think got a big shout. We're playing in France. We've done the business in France before. Let's be honest, 2007.
Uh-huh.
So I don't see any reason for us not to be quietly confident still. Like I said, I've heard a lot of doom and gloom about, oh, we lost and we lost, and yeah, we did, but we didn't lose badly. We played badly, perhaps, in one in the Ireland game, but we showed character against France. Um, and I think that was the big test this season, was the France game, and I think in taking everything into account, I think we passed that with flying colors. Um, if we won that game, well, that would have been something else.
Yeah.
But look, we've got England coming up this weekend, and they're coming off a weird draw that they had with New Zealand.
A weird draw is it's a good call for that.
I
That last
mean,
10 minutes.
look, they were absolutely nowhere for 70 minutes, and then they
Yeah.
switched. They switched from what, first gear to seventh gear in the last 10 minutes, scored three sensational tries, and then they just kicked the ball out when they had a chance to still run.
If you were
I don't
on
know.
the field and Smith kicked the ball into touch after you did that, how would you feel?
I would not. Look, they had the momentum. They had all of the momentum.
Exactly.
I would have at least put up one or two phases,
I hung up a kick to try work a penalty or something.
or put up the Gary Owen, get it over the 10 meter. Geordie Barrett on the field, or no? I
He
can't
played
remember.
12.
Oh, so he was probably still on the field. But I mean, they normally don't have Oaks that kick from behind the 50 meter, except for Geordie. So put up the Gary Owen, get it over the or over the halfway line, and just see if you can win it back. And if you win it back, then you go for it.
But I just think that at home, if you're the home side and you're doing that, you've got to go for it in front of
Look, I
your
mean, they
fans.
already they already showed huge character for coming back, but surely you would want to go for the try
In front
or
of your
just the win.
fans.
Not for the try, you want to go for the win and complete the comeback. I mean, it was I actually watched the last 5 minutes of that game at the one bar at our reunion last weekend, and I was looking at it and I thought to myself like, oh, what a comeback! And then when they got the ball and they kicked it out, I thought to myself like, what has just happened? Why? Why would you do that? But I mean, yeah, each to their own. If they're happy with the draw, I mean, I'd rather lose it by 3 points there
Yeah, then
than draw.
settle.
I mean, draw is such a nothing result. But okay, look, like we said, they came back from what, 25-6 down, so that's fine. But it was such an anticlimactic finish.
Yeah.
But I mean, each to their own. But yeah, we're playing against them this coming weekend. Have
Yeah.
you actually got the team there or
I
something?
do.
I just quickly want to grab a last cold one for the night.
I'm gonna do
While
the
we
same. I'm coming back now.
Oh. No, while we wait for John, I think it's just a good time to say apologies for only producing automations video 3 weeks in. It's been a busy few weeks, so we'll try and keep the trend going of weekly videos, but we've tried to cram as much into this episode as we can. And thanks to our local or our loyal 12 subscribers for going to be pulling in, having a listen to the opinions and garbage we do deliver. So, lekker, guys.
How's it?
How's it?
Okay, so
Let's see that team. Let's see that team. So we have to take into account all of the French-based and English-based players cannot play this weekend as it falls outside of the test window, the international test window. Lekker, my bro. So in terms of that, there are quite a few guys that have or aren't available. So yeah, let's have a little look-see there. It's going to be a spicy little encounter this, eh? I think Ox has been playing well since he's been reintroduced to the starting lineup. Same for Bongi.
I think that's the best team we can put out. Maybe Marks in for Bongi, but I think that's the best team we can put out at this stage, and maybe Steven in for Ox.
Yeah, look, I like Ox. I'll be honest. I think he brings something else to the table as well. But yeah, it's between Look, our front rows are insane. That's magical. I mean, Ox, Bongi, Franz Malaba, it's a bit Marvin Ori. I don't know if we're getting enough from him all the time.
Well, I would have Archia over him.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't think we're going to see him very soon. I think all of his injuries and things are just racking up. So yeah, it's quite sad. But I mean, you also watched those SAA games and they were atrocious games to watch. It looked like
no fluidity,
trial games,
no cohesion.
It looked like, absolutely, like you said, it looked like trial games where the guys were just trying to play for themselves, and I did not like any of it. It was difficult watches. But I mean, we've got a lot. The one oak that I will put my hand up for there, though, is that Ruan Nokia. I think he looks like the lock. Yeah, I think he is definitely someone that we can also blood in at some stage. I think he also shows a lot of fighting spirit and a lot of grit and determination. It's the type of guys you want in your team. But I mean, yeah, Sia, Mostert, and look who's at number 8 there. Old Ivan Ruiz. Finally getting his opportunity against one of the big boys. Now's his time to show us why he's there.
Absolutely.
Yes, he's had a great URC and all of that, but this is the big time. This is where you have to prove yourself.
Yeah.
He will have to put his hand up here. And
be counted.
And be counted for. This is the opportunity. If you want to do it against someone, do it against England. They've got a good forward pack. Now is the time to shine, let's be honest. In the back line, it's old Faf, Damien, my pimps, DDA, old JC, Kurtley, and Willie. I mean, that's as
standard as going to get at this stage. Yes. I think and I've been happy with Jesse. He's played well this autumn series.
Look, like we said on previous occasions, you know what you can expect from Jesse, and he delivers it every game, most of the time. So
he's been giving us a little bit more in these last few games.
Yeah, he has.
Dynamic.
Look, I mean, we have grilled him a bit, let's be honest. But
Yeah.
I feel he's not played badly at all. I think he's had, like you mentioned, he's had good games. And yeah, hopefully he can just keep on building on that. And then what's we've got on the replacement bench there? Old Malcolm, what's it? Malcolm and Kitsy. The tank, the toy is on the bench. Old Eskom van Staden is there. Kwagster.
Faster.
Old Jaden making a return to the 23. Hey, Mani Lebok. And old Kanan Moody also
Kane
making a
Moody's just
return.
been flown in to the UK, I think, as far as I understand it.
I know he was injured for a bit, so it's good to see him back into the mix. Look, we've got a riches of talent on the wings. It seems like all of a sudden again. It's actually a position we've had a lot of talent over the years
Yeah.
as well, which is good. I'm just look at some stage. I'll be honest. I want to see that backline being Jaden, Marnie. Then I want Damian Willems at inside center. I want Dialenda at outside, and I just want to see that dynamic as well. Because then you've got Willie coming in from fullback, so you've got three playmakers essentially.
Yeah.
With Willems, oh my word, what is that? That is a crazy little creature. Sure.
You're getting attacked.
Yeah, it's with this lights on, summertime, hot outside. The insects are coming out to play now. They're coming out to play.
Nice evening.
Oh yeah, lovely evening, hey, lovely evening. Gonna struggle to have a proper sleep because it's humid and it's hot today. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, is this their training squad?
Yeah, it didn't. Do you think they've got a team up?
No, their team will probably be announced tomorrow somewhere. It's only, like I said previously, it's only us that announce our team on Tuesday already. Very strange. But that's the way it goes. Look, I mean, I think from England we can expect the classic old England. It'll probably, I don't think they'll start Ben Youngs. I think they'll start that young Van Poortvliet or something like that. And then we'll, in all probability, have Marcus Smith at 10, Owen and Farrell at 12.
What do you make of that combination? Have you watched
Smith and
enough of
Farrell.
them of late?
Smith and Farrell.
Yeah.
Marcus Smith is a very good rugby player, I think. He reads the game very well. He's got a lot of X factor. I still don't like Owen Farrell. It's plain and simple. But he is also a good rugby player and he does what he has to. Look, he's played a lot of rugby for England at 12. There was a long time where it was George Ford at 10 and him at 12 as well. I think he wants to play 10, but I think he's accepted now that he's not going to play 10 anymore. I think Marcus Smith is their future at 10, so I think he'll have to settle for the 12 jersey, which is not a bad thing. I mean, for them, that also gives them that twin playmaker option. So it's a dangerous combination. Let's be honest, it's a dangerous combination, and they can cause some trouble. They definitely can cause some trouble. So
I think Farrell kind of negates Marcus Smith in some way, nullifies him, because I think Marcus Smith is wary of the fact he's got Owen on his inside and feels like everything has to go through him. Apparently, Owen's got major say in the England squad. So,
it's got more than 100 caps already. Somehow, got more than 100 caps, that oak.
sure.
And he's not old. I think, is he 30? Maybe 31? Maybe, I don't know. I don't think he's very old. But yeah. Look, I don't really know. It's going to be interesting. They'll probably have old Freddie Stewart at fullback. Their wings can pretty much be anyone, Jack Noel or Kokonisinga or what's that other guy? There's so many of them that they can choose from. Johnny May, I'm not sure if he's there and in the mix. Owen Farrell, Johnny Mays there, Jack Noel. That I think that Guy Porter is also a wing, if I'm not mistaken. He's also good. Henry Slade will in all probability play outside center. Or Manu, one of the two.
I think Manu's been playing outside for the most part.
Yeah. Then who's their forwards? Alex Coles, Luke and Dickey, Curry. It'll be Ellis Genge, probably Jamie George, or Luke and Dickey.
And Carson
Bevan Rod will be on the bench. Carl Sinclair will also probably start. Or what's it? Oh no, Mako isn't there, is he? No.
I'm looking forward to the Toje Urban contest.
I've got a sneaking suspicion. I just want to see if I'm thinking right here. Where's Bill? I've got, because I saw some news from the England camp that Eddie Jones is going to try and negate our bomb squad. So I've got an idea they're going to pick a massive forward pack, and I think I've got a sneaking suspicion they might just move Itoje to flank or something weird like that.
And do a 6-2 themselves.
Could very well be, hey? Because I mean, Johnny Hill
be very interesting in terms of a team trying to front up with us and saying we're not afraid of you.
Very much so, eh? But it's going to be interesting if they do something like that. They probably won't, but I mean, you've got Johnny Hill and Itoje. They're massive for locks. They got old Curry and Simmons and those oaks and Billy Vunipola and the loose trio. It's going to be a proper test match again. But I think we need to end this tour off on a high. We need to make it 50% for the tour, at least.
Yeah, also just it's such a long period of time before our next Springbok International. Give us something to hold on to.
No, definitely. And I think as well, we don't mind playing at Twickenham. We don't mind playing there.
Good memories of it.
Yeah, so let's see what the Boykies can do. It's not our first choice team with some of the guys not being available and whatnot, but it's an exciting blend. I think it's a very exciting blend.
Okay, so just based on the year we've had, what would you name as your starting 15?
How do you mean? As my World Cup starting 15 at the moment, or
your
just
current 15? Your current 15 with what's available.
Oh, I would, in all probability, go Kitsi, Bongi, Frans Malherbe, Eben. I would play Mostert at lock. Then I would play Sia with Kwaha.
Hold on. Yeah. Kwaha at 7 after the year he's had. Your best choice.
With the players that we've got available that aren't injured and all of that now.
No, I'm saying your best 11. I mean, your best 15 from the year.
Okay, no, well then it's different. Sorry. So it'll be the front row will be Kitshoff, Marks, Malherbe, Eben. Then you have to go probably Luet until his injury. He was good.
Eben, Luet.
Yeah. Then 6 Sia. Look, at the moment, I feel Mostert has played better at 7 than Peter Steff. I would go Mostert at 7.
Yeah.
And I'd go Jasper Wiese at 8.
Yeah.
I'd still go Jaden at 9.
Really? Is he your first choice 9 at the moment?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I think he's shown enough.
Yeah.
It's very close between him and Faf, but I like his style of play. I think he's still a bit faster on the pass than Faf is. 10, I would have to go with Damien.
Yeah. Ahead of Pollard.
Pollard hasn't really had a good year. Eh? I really don't feel that he's had a
But
sensational year.
if you needed to call him and say, listen, you need to play your best game for me, who are you gonna call?
No, then you're pulling Pollard all day.
Then I think you're calling for Pollard.
Right. Look, 12 has to be Damien, the Allender. 13 has to be has to be. Now time for some controversy. I would go left wing Kurt Lee, Orense.
Yeah.
Right wing Cheslin.
Yeah.
And fullback, I'll go for Damian Willemse.
Ooh, spicy. Okay, I'm going same front row as you. I'm probably going to do. I like the Franco Mostert chart. If I could only choose 15 guys, I'm probably going Franco Mostert at 5 after the current year. 6 is definitely Sia. 7 is Peter Steff. I just feel like if you ask him to, he's got it in him.
Look, he's coming back. We could see against Ireland he was coming back to the old Peter Steff.
Yeah, 8, Jasper Wiese picks himself. 9, 5, 10, Andre Pollard. 11, my PP, what's his first name?
Makazole.
12, the Islander. 13, 14, Cheslin. 15, Billy. So we differ on 1, 2, 3, 4 positions.
Good variety. Good variety.
But I think where we differ is I'm starting guys that you have on your bench and you starting guys that I have on my bench. So it's just like how we structure the squad we've got.
No, for sure. For sure. Look, I really think when everyone's back and fit and ready, we've got a good team. We really have got a good team. We've got a good squad. I'm looking forward to next year. I really think it's going to be good. But before we get into next year, England predictions. What do you think?
I'm gonna say 14 to England and 23-14 to South Africa.
23-14.
Yeah.
I've got a sneaking suspicion that my score that I want to put in there is 28 for South Africa. And what did I think now was going to be? Was it 20? Yeah, 28, 26 for England.
Do you want to hear our predictions for the other games?
Yeah, let's have a listen.
So on episode 4, the SA Island game, what was a score?
1916.
You said 25-22 to South Africa. I said 16-11 to South Africa.
So at least you got South Africa's score right. Well done. Terrible guesses though. Terrible. Terrible. Okay, but I mean we'll wait and see what happens against England.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a crackerjack. Finally, I'll be able to watch a full game again.
Yeah, I'm also looking forward to sitting down and watching the last one of the year.
It's always exciting. It's always exciting against England. There's always that added spice to that game.
Yeah.
Just because of the history. I think we need to just take them down a peg before the World Cup again and tell them, hey guys, come on. World Cup's coming next year. Let's see you in the final.
I think that's not a bad idea at all. Just carry that momentum into next year. And I think they're going to do it. Listen, I wanted to just also say we've got to speak about old Rassie Erasmus and or Jaco Johan.
Well, I don't really know how to feel about it. I'm not cross with him. I'm not irritated with him. I just feel he always does everything with some sort of. I think he knows what he's doing in some weird way. I think he still knows what he's doing. I don't know why he does it. I don't know if it's mind games or if it's trying to highlight things. I don't know. But I don't feel that he goes on these rants because he's a child or that he just wants to moan or anything. I always feel that Oak works with some sort of plan. So I don't know. I think there's a deeper thing to it. I saw a thing from Jacques Nienaber that says, yeah, everyone doesn't have all the facts and things, and that's why I also think there's something deeper there. I think he's also trying to deflect a lot of the criticism of the team onto himself and the officials. Just give them some breathing space, give the team some breathing space, things like, I don't know. That's what I think. But I also think he is, in his own special kind of way, trying to highlight some issues that he is seeing. And I feel we've been talking about the refs way too much this year. And I feel that he's pretty much the only guy that actually speaks up about it. Everyone else tries and sweeps it under the rug. But we're not going to see consistency if no one says anything.
Something's got to be said. And that's where I'm grateful he's saying it, but it's just a pity that it's coming from a director of rugby. Like, look, we all agree with his sentiment, and it sucks that referees have become such a talking point. But it just makes Springbok rugby, which I hold and you hold and a lot of other people hold so dear, just it's a bit sour grapes, and it's not something I want to associate with my rugby side.
No, I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. I saw a thing that John Smith says, like, yo, what he's doing is making other people dislike the box. I think the rest of the world don't like the box anyway. I don't think other teams are like, we like the box. No, we have that bastardry in us. I don't think Oaks look at us and they're like, oh, that's my second team, the box. Yeah, they might look at us and see team spirit and things like that and camaraderie. They don't see nice guys all the time. No, that's not how we play our rugby.
True. Well
We do
said.
play.
Very well put.
I mean, I don't care if the other countries like us or not. I absolutely do not care. No, I have no issue with them not liking us. No issue whatsoever. Nice guys normally finish second, unfortunately. Most of the time. We are gentlemen off the field, though. Our guys likes a sneaky little beer with the opposition and whatnot. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, on the field, and then, yeah, I don't like any other international teams. I don't like them. So why must the other people like? I mean, if you're South African, you like the Boks. Most of the time, you like them because
And
they win. They
you're
win. They
happy
win
to have
stuff.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, they're our most successful sporting team. The cricket is shit. We lose against fuck Netherlands. I mean, come on. Choker's
Yeah.
tag is there for a reason. Bafana is I don't even know.
Yeah.
So we've got the Boks and they do the business.
Oh,
Like
I
them or
agree.
dislike them, they do the business.
I think, like you said, there's probably method to Russie's madness, but it still leaves a bitter taste in my mouth.
No, it does. It does. It's not nice to see, but like I said, there must be a reason behind it.
Yeah.
I can't see there not being a reason behind it. I had a good old chuckle. Saw a meme the other day after Russie's ban, where it was him and Peter Steff sitting next to each other, and Peter Steff asking him, but just as a meme, is where are we watching the rugby this weekend, my house or your house?
Oh,
I thought that was brilliant. So just a little comic relief there as well. But yeah, look, you should probably get off social media, but we love him on social media when he's doing his TikToks and whatnot. So perhaps don't highlight the refs. But
yeah.
like I said, there's definitely method behind the madness, and that'll probably come out in the next, I don't know, the next Springbok documentary they make or something. We'll see what happens.
Wait, isn't Russie supposed to, the documentary supposed to come out soon?
I've watched that. It's interesting. It's an interesting watch.
Okay,
See
cool.
how his career path developed and all of that. Quite interesting, eh?
That's
Actually, a
good.
good
I think
watch.
I'll see if I can find it and watch it. He's an
Yeah,
interesting
no, definitely
character.
try. Definitely try. So what's it? It's about 80 minutes. So it's a
Like
full
a
game
rugby
there.
match, full 80
Exactly.
minutes.
Full 80 minutes. Yeah. But yeah, look, I think this was a good little catch up session.
Very, very
As
good.
I said, apologies for while you were gone. I apologize to our 12 subscribers for being a few weeks off duty.
Yeah,
Like I said, life happens and get a little busy sometimes, but all in all, we'll always come back for more chats. Just have to make the time.
yeah.
It's what we like to do. So yeah, uh, cheers to cheers to another
Technical
one,
angles.
another one. But yeah, I think let's back the boy keys one last time this year, and let's
Yeah,
see what we can do against the Roses.
absolutely.
As they say in your country now, God save the king, eh?
Yeah, I hope we go out there and show them what we're made of, and we leave us and the world knowing that we mean business heading into 2023.
Oh, definitely. I definitely agree with that. And I think the guys will stand up and be accounted for. I feel that there's a few youngsters in this team that will want to put up their hands in this game.
Yeah,
Like I said, I think Ivan Ruiz will have to try and put up his hand, and I think he has got what it takes to put up his hand.
yeah,
And it'll really be interesting once we decide to bring on old Marnie to see what he can do against the English juggernaut. I really want to see him up against Marcus Smith or Owen
I,
Farrell. I
I
really want to
would
see.
like I would like Marnie to get 30 minutes this weekend.
At least. Like I said, what I would like to see is I want to see Marnie at 10, Damian Willems at 12, and then Dialenda at 13 for a bit. I would like to see that dynamic, and then you've got Willie still running the show at the back. I think that could be very interesting to see.
Pulling the strings when they need to be pulled.
Exactly. But yeah, that was a good little catch-up chat. Do you think we've checked all the angles there?
I think we've checked all the angles there. I think we'll call it there, Bruce. So till the next one.
Yeah, we'll do a little review after the England game. And then I think just do a little sum up of the year and yeah, take it from there.
Yeah. Over now.
Right. Lekker.